You're listening to Season 2, Episode 34 of the Abundance Blueprint Podcast with yours truly, Naomi Saadiq. This is our Thankful Thursdays. Today's message is finding the lesson in the chaos. The original air date is July 24th, 2025. So welcome back, beloved. You're listening to the Abundance Blueprint Podcast with Naomi Saadiq, where we don't just talk about abundance, we blueprint it. And if you hear, I got a little rain noise in the background, or the rain noise is going on in the background. All right. This is meant to be more of a relaxing lesson and a message. All right. So on Monday, we learned how to release what wasn't ours to carry. On Tuesday, we found ways to turn what was ours into something that could carry us. On Wednesdays, we slow down to breathe and see our path clearly. And so today we look back on the week, the messy parts, the frustrations, and even the setbacks to find the lesson in the chaos. And before we dive in, my book, I Found Out I Had Breast Cancer on My Lunch Break, is available on Amazon Kindle now. Now every copy helps us keep this podcast running, and it helps phenomenally me, Women's Society, feed and serve thrivers every single week. This show is powered by Sherletta Germain LLC, Scaling Made Simple, the company that not only funds this podcast, but also bids on real federal government contracts so we can create opportunities for small businesses like yours. All right, so we're currently preparing graphic designs and currently preparing some consultation proposals and looking for partners to feature. Call us at 810-243-4949 for podcast features, or 813-859-3543 for B2B contracting and scaling opportunities. Don't forget, our Spanish and Haitian Creole episodes drop every Wednesdays, or each Wednesday, and Sundays, so we can stay connected across every language, okay? Now then, this is the perfect segue to our breathing and reset. You know, I like to hold it in for 4 seconds, or inhale for 4 seconds and hold it, and exhale for 6 and do it one more time, okay? So inhale and hold it, and exhale for 6. One more time. Hold it. And exhale for 6. Now think about this past week. What moment, big or small, tested your patience, stretched your limits, or made you feel like you were losing ground? I want you to hold that thought, because there's often a lesson buried in the frustration. So, a little bit of storytelling. Last year, I spent weeks working on setting up these government bids. One that felt like our ticket to the next level. Countless late nights, endless edits, only to find out at the end that the award had already been pre-decided for another vendor. I felt angry, defeated, like we'd wasted time we couldn't afford to lose. But slowing down and looking back, I saw the lesson. That contract would have stretched us thin and pulled us away from our core mission. The partner we were planning to bring in wasn't truly aligned with our long-term vision, and losing that bid forced us to refocus, which led to a smaller, faster-paying consulting project just 2 months later. So I'll ask you this. What frustration this week might actually be a redirect, pointing you towards something that fits your blueprint better? So here's your what if affirmation and homework, okay? Today's affirmation simply says, every challenge carries a lesson, and every lesson carries me closer to abundance. So what if, instead of asking why me this week, you asked, what is this teaching me? What if the very thing that feels like a loss right now is actually clearing space for something better. This is your homework. Pick up one frustration from your week. Write down the lesson it's teaching you. And I want you to email it to info@theabundanceblueprint.org or DM me, Naomi Saadiq, and we'll share some of your reflections on our Fulfillment Fridays, okay? This podcast is fueled by Sherletta Germain LLC, where scaling is made simple. The business engine behind the podcast, and phenomenally me, Women's Society, and our mission to help small businesses grow without burning out. We're currently prepping graphic designs and consulting proposals and scouting for businesses to feature. If this is you, call us at 810-243-4949 for podcast opportunities, okay? Call us at 813-859-3543 for scaling and contracting conversations. Before we close, I want you to think about this. Is your money actually multiplying for you or just sitting there? The rule of 72 is a simple way to measure growth. Divide 72 by your growth rate, and that's how long it takes your money to double. And most people don't realize that their insurance policies can be structured and stacked legally, safely, and affordably to work for them instead of just draining their pockets. So if you want me to help you apply the rule of 72 to your life or your business, or personally review your policies, you can text our Google Voice number at 810-243-4949 or text me directly at 813-859-3543. Let's make sure your blueprint isn't just built, but it's built to multiply, because abundance isn't something that you chase. It's something you blueprint. We'll see you next time on the Abundance Blueprint podcast with yours truly, Naomi Saadiq. I love you.